there was this massive train derailment,
Yep.
and then a bunch of chemicals got loose. They burned them to, I guess, prevent an explosion. I think is why they did it.
Yeah, it was a controlled burn, right? They've done this before in other situations, so it's not uncommon to do this. But um, yeah, in this case, some of the chemicals that were being burned, if you know anything about fuel, which I'm sure if Art's watching, he knows all about this. Uh, Ethylene glycol, I think, is one of them, which is like a fuel stabilizer of some sort that they use. It's disgusting stuff. It's like sludge. Use it. All this stuff is carcinogenic, and you've
Mhm.
now burned it and thrown it into the atmosphere.
See, people's like chickens were dying. There's like weird stuff caked onto cars, acid rain.
Well, he even said the governor even said he did this little press docket, if you will, and he showed like the areas, these red and yellow areas. He said if you're in these areas, the red especially, he goes, you need to go. And this we're not talking about a very um, affluent area here. This is people. I think the median income in this area is quite low.
Yeah, and that's why the Biden administration is refusing to give them aid.
Unbelievable,
So,
man. Like it's
like,
basically another Appalachia over
well, they
there.
say, well, it's a red area, so
Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
which
you don't vote correctly, so
wouldn't surprise me for a second if that was like a legitimate internal justification for it. 'Cause that's like who these people are.
yeah.
This is who they seem to be, what they seem to care about. Um,
It's
yeah,
scary, and I've seen some. Again, I've not vetted this, so I want to be very clear about this. But I've seen some anecdotal sort of evidence that a lot of the railway in that area is pretty bad.
yeah,
So you can't. I mean, how couldn't you think that something like this could happen? You're running trains on a main line that the rail is in disrepair. It's just a
yeah,
recipe for disaster. All you need is one section of the rail to be really bad, and you could derail that train.
yeah. The conspiracy theorists are coming out and saying maybe there's something deliberate about it. Who knows? Like, who knows what happens? Like, chickens were just dead. Other animals, like I don't know like there were foxes I think that were reported dead. Um, a whole shit ton of fish. Like,
Yeah, the fish. I saw that.
who who can say what's gonna happen? You know, in a year.
What's gonna happen to
What
the people
what are the
there?
effects in a
Jeez.
year gonna be like? And they're not even doing anything to help them.
Yeah, that's scary stuff over there. I don't know where they're at right now. I
And
think
then
it's
of course you have the New York Times coming out and saying that like basically everybody questioning the government on this is right wing.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to find
We're
the
so
quote,
right wing
but
over here.
yeah,
Just extremists.
yeah, influencers and right-wing commentators were quick to the draw with conclusions of their own, theorizing about the extent of the damage and the federal response, which they have said amounted to an extensive cover-up. Well, I mean, they're not really saying anything about it.
Right.
How's that not a cover-up? You know, but this is basically it, right? Like if you're
I love when they
questioning,
yeah, and they talk about Tucker Carlson too, like he's an extreme right winger in
yeah,
some way.
yeah,
This is brutal, man. Yeah,
yeah, none of it makes any sense.
take it with a grain of salt from who's reporting it, right? That's sad when you can't just have objective journalism on something like this, even. It's just,
Everything now,
yeah,
everything is poisoned with this fucking new brand of politics, this new woke nonsense,
yeah.
you know?
Like if you just want news, just something like this should be, I would think, would be very clear cut. Okay, you had a disaster. Now there's an environmental disaster because of that, and there's future implications for these people that live there, and we should be all concerned that there are going to be people that are going to be in trouble because of this. It should just be very clear
Hmm.
cut like that. There should be nothing political associated with it at all.
Yes, probably won't be very long before there are serious health effects,
Yeah,
for most of the people in the area.
yeah, for sure. I just don't know why. I mean, absent of anybody being held accountable for it, because okay, fine. I mean, you can make an argument that it's hard to hold anybody personally accountable for one for this disaster type thing. It's a number of
Yeah,
people
a
that
lot of
maybe dropped the ball.
things have to go wrong, right?
Right. So even in absence of the accountability, you could just say, "Hey, look, we're just who cares about that now? Let's just take care of it. Let's clean it up correctly. Let's make sure these people are okay. We got to throw some money at them. We have no problem with throwing billions of dollars over in Ukraine. We can't throw a couple billion in Ohio there to fix at home issues. Fuck out of here. Ah, sickening. All
Hmm.
right.